Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cave Trolls React. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Woo!
Go.
But seriously, Pokemon Go.
Really? No.
Yeah. How much have you guys played so far? What level is everybody?
15. Just hit
16.
16. I am like a sliver away to 14, and I probably hit it while I was sitting here.
Yeah.
Because my game freaked out and dropped. And we could talk a little bit about that here in a minute with bugs. But I just, like, how many miles do you guys think? Last time I did the math, we walked like some odd 60 kilometers. That was just on our vacation.
Yeah.
So, like, that's like 37 miles.
Yeah. Like, in game, I'm only at, like, probably, like, 50 kilometers.
Gotcha.
But, like, that's not including all the times that, like, my phone was just off. Or,
Right.
like, all of the time when we were on vacation.
Right, because
when
you were
I
just
couldn't-
walking
I-
with
yeah.
us. But that's not including every time the game freezes
Yep.
and you're like restarting, or if you have to switch out your battery because it just eats it alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's your strongest Pokemon?
Right now it was a Hypno. It's a Flareon now because I just evolved.
Mine too.
My like 8th Flareon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody has Flareons. Flareons are like the most prevalent EV evolution, and contrary to popular belief, it is random.
Yep.
Stop trying to evolve it when you're in the middle of the ocean in a rainstorm. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I did it over a river. Got a Flareon.
You're going to get a Flareon most likely. You have a Jolteon now,
I do
right?
have a Jolteon now.
And there's a gym downtown that has all Vaporeons right now.
Yep.
High level ones too, like
Yeah.
1,000. But that is part of it too. As you increase your level, you're gonna like encounter different and more rare Pokemon.
Right.
What's the most prevalent Pokemon you guys have seen?
either Pidgey or Rattata.
Fucking Rattatas.
I know, right?
So many Rattatas.
Venonat's pretty high up there for me, though.
Yeah, I've started to see
I
a
haven't
lot more,
seen
but
that many.
not
Venonats.
in comparison to Rattatas or Pidgeys
No.
at least.
Right, but, like,
But of a decent
Probably
like
the
tier
third
2
most frequent,
Pokemon
yeah.
right now.
For being such a low level, I mean, like I've noticed a lot of Weedles, but for being such a low level, I haven't seen a lot of Caterpies or Metapods. Have you?
no, they're way more rare.
Yeah, they're like super rare to me. Like
But I mean, if you think about it, like Butterfree is going to be a little bit stronger than a Beedrill.
Confusion.
Yeah, exactly. It's psychic and bug, and it can learn poison moves too. So
Exactly.
I could see like that makes a lot of sense too. Plus, it's just a way to vary it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they made Caterpie, what's the word I'm looking for? Chaseable, huntable.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want a Caterpie. They made
Yeah.
it desirable, which is an impressive feat.
Yeah.
'Cause who the fuck wants a Caterpie? Except for the 19 bug kids that you encounter in every single Pokemon game.
See, it's funny because everybody wants a Caterpie. I really could care less just because I want the Pidgeys and the Rattatas. 'Cause
Right, I mean-
that's gonna give me the experience.
And that's the thing. That is a good little troll we have that on here on the list is if you want to level up fast, and this is no secret, you go to any wiki, IGN, Polygon, Kotaku, they'll tell you save your lucky eggs, save all of the low level Pokemon
Don't
catch
tell 'em the
everything.
secret.
that can be evolved with 12 candies of that type,
Yeah.
and just evolve the shit out of them when
Yeah.
you activate your lucky egg. That'll put you at least to level 10. It slows
Yeah.
down a little bit after 10,
Yeah, but
You
totally
would
worth
get
it.
1 or maybe 2 levels at that point.
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
Under 10, you'll get 3 or 4.
And once you get past level 12, you start getting Great Balls and
Yep.
Super Potions, and that's kind of where I've noticed
And
the
I
game
think
opens up a
after
little bit more.
15, you get Hyper Potions.
Yep,
so-
and then at 20 you get Ultra Balls.
Yep.
So, it is a solid progression. What's the rarest Pokemon everyone's seen?
I don't know how rare everything actually is. Like, I have a
But for
seal.
you.
But for you, yeah.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
the thing that you've seen? Because it really depends on your region and where you
I
live.
saw
so.
a Hitmonlee, but I wasn't able to catch it. I know you both have one.
I hatched mine. He caught his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hatched
Oh, you
mine.
hatched
yeah.
yours too?
Yeah.
Was it off at 10?
10.
Yeah.
I still haven't caught a 10 km egg.
Really?
Yeah. I've never had a 10 kilometer egg.
You were the first one with eggs too,
Yeah,
because we
yeah.
were stopping. We weren't getting any, and you got like 5 off the first Pokestop
Yeah.
that we stopped at.
Because you had a bunch of 2KMs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you start
Um,
getting 5s.
I hatched an Omnite, which was pretty rare to me. I haven't seen those yet. But the rarest catch probably so far, an Electabuzz or a Scyther.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
the two that I've only seen one of, and not a lot of people have.
Yeah.
So for me, it would probably be a Taurus because I haven't actually seen the Taurus. It was nearby.
We just caught
We just
one.
caught another one. So we have 2 Tauruses now, but it's still pretty rare. You don't run into them very often, at least where we live.
Yeah.
But the first one we caught was 37 CP.
Yeah.
And the newest one I just caught was like 700.
It
What
was
was yours?
75.
75 for him. And I do notice that sometimes you'll catch the exact same Pokemon. Same move, same CP. Sometimes it's super random, though. Happened a lot to me and John today.
Yeah.
He'd get one that was like 12 CP. I'd get one with like 400.
Yeah.
So it is random in a lot of aspects. You still need to walk around a lot. What's the worst miss you guys have had? So either you ran out of Pokeballs or you just couldn't catch it and it ran away.
That Hitmonlee.
Hitmonlee. What about you?
I don't know what the Pokemon was, or I mean, I would say multiple times, but I know yesterday it was raining, and that was throwing off my throws every time.
You just couldn't get it. I ran out of Pokeballs immediately, and I didn't notice, and I ran into a Growlithe. or Growlithe, however you want to pronounce it, and I hadn't seen one yet before. It was the first one I saw. I was so excited, and I had ran out of Pokeballs on the last one. I just didn't notice. I thought the game froze.
Yeah.
Because it was fighting a Caterpie, and there was no more Pokeballs. I was like, oh, well. So I exit out, enter back in, walk downtown, get to the Growlithe. I was like, oh my god, you are out of Pokeballs. No, Con! I'm just like screaming in the middle of the street.
That's when you go into the shop. You're like, should I purchase?
Should I purchase some Pokeballs?
It's like
I was so
$1
close.
for 20.
I know. I was right there. I was like, no, that's stupid. You don't need them yet. Because I was near Pokestops. And actually, I walked down to some Pokestops, got them, came back, missed it again, ran out of Pokeballs. Then I had to take a shit. So I was like, I need to go home. Because walking makes you shit. I don't know what people think it does, but it does that. That and coffee. And I usually combine those for Pokemon.
Your bowels move.
They're moving around. Did we just do like the gopher dance from like So like every time we've mentioned, like, there are a couple times when we're out by ourselves, but most of the time we're out together.
Yeah.
And we've done that a lot. So, and the more people you have with you, the rarer Pokemon that actually show up. So getting groups of like 400 people together is a big deal.
Also, the easier it is to take on the gyms.
Oh yeah, and the gym thing. So let's talk about how many people we've seen together outside. So we never see less than 3 people together.
I'd say 2 to 5.
2 to 5. Okay, yes, that's true. But like, people are always together, which is awesome. Just the camaraderie of it. Like, everyone is out there playing. We're talking to people again. We've met several different groups, and even the ones that are rival people. Yeah. They're like, we're in rivalries, and we're like, you red son of bitches, and
you're making jokes back and forth,
exactly.
having fun.
But yeah,
some of them there
is a slight malice to some of it. Yes. We did get flipped off by a group of red people on skateboards, but other than that, we have a good time.
And those yellow kids.
I think,
fucking yellow kids.
I think that skateboard had more to do with it than the red dude did.
Little punk kid. Back in my day, I used to skateboard.
We were there once.
Yeah, exactly. But like you were saying, if you go with a group of people, so far we've only been able to do 2 at a time. But if you are a different gym, you can have 4 people, right, attacking the same gym at once. Is that incorrect?
Well, I know for sure you can you can attack for like leveling up your gym at the same time, but you don't get to attack together.
Okay, gotcha. So far we've only been able to do 2 at a time.
Yes.
But if you're 3 different gyms, so say you're attacking a red gym, a blue person and a yellow person can attack the gym at the same time and take down the enemies easier, or 2 blue or 2 yellow.
Yeah,
variation a little bit.
We've tried to do 3, and it might just be that it's bugging out.
Exactly. We don't know if it's a bug or if there is a limit to that, and it might have to do with the prestige too of the gym. Like if it's like a super high prestige, maybe you can have more people battling at once. But either way, you can group up and team up in that aspect.
This poor tier 2 gym got 10 people attacking it.
We did that a couple of times last night.
Last night there's like 2. It's like, just one person.
One person can totally take it. Yeah, and like we're attacking it with like almost 800 CP, and it has like 200 CP as its guardian.
Except I did take that one that was the 1,000.
Yeah, we took it because it was both of us at the same time. It went down in only one, and
all of our good
prestige.
Pokemon were already in gyms. So.
Exactly. But that's the one we still hold right now, though. Actually, down by the library.
Yeah.
Which is funny because everyone goes to the library. They just can't beat our Pidgeot.
What about the one down the road?
Which one? The one right there in the corner?
That's ours.
It's still ours.
It's still ours, but my Pokemon got knocked out. My Flareon, they took it out.
Sweet.
But that is a really fun aspect is the gym fights. It's not super. It's intuitive. It's definitely intuitive. You just click the other Pokemon. You can swipe left or right to dodge.
It's very spammy.
It is very spammy. You hold if you want to do your special move once you've built up enough power. There's not a lot of strategy to it. Dodging is hard if you have a shittier phone, as to just playing Pokemon Go in general.
I have a quick question about that second ability. I don't know if it's just my phone or if it's something to do with the game. But when I hold and I have it charged up, sometimes it doesn't use it.
It isn't just your phone. It's happened on my new one as well.
So I wonder if it's actually a bug or if it's not. Sometimes like you have to be at the right
moment.
No,
it's partly a bug and partly it's easily interrupted. So if you get hit with a special move, you also can't use your special move at the same time. But again, it doesn't register that right away. Because it's a cell phone.
There's probably a frame thing.
Exactly. So it does come into some issues, but it's still fun and it's easy to get into.
Yeah.
The rock, paper, scissors doesn't matter as much, but it still affects it.
Yeah.
So, if I'm fighting a water type and I use lightning, it's still going to do super effective damage, even if it's low level. But it's more effective if you just spam clicking on it.
Yeah.
You want to start out clicking on it as soon as it says go.
Yep.
And there's certain abilities that will almost stun other abilities.
Exactly, and that's a really fun aspect too. Seeing like there are certain ones that can block other abilities that I've noticed. It is surprisingly deep for a cell phone game, but it needs more.
Yeah.
It needs to add dueling. It needs to add trading.
And I don't blame them for not adding all that stuff right away.
They probably didn't have a way to do it right away
Right.
either. And plus, they were trying to get the like lowest common denominator. Like, this is the game that worked and could launch.
Yep.
So they launched it as soon as we could. If they were waiting for trading to start working, like they showed in the original commercial or the raids where we're all fighting Mewtwo in Times Square, we probably would have got this game next year.
Oh, definitely.
So I was fine with them launching this. And that leads me to our next topic is that this is like our Poke dreams come true.
Yes.
This is the game that I've wanted since I was like 4 and I first played Pokemon. Like, I would love to go outside with my friends and catch Pokemon.
Yeah.
We always talk about games that we want multiplayer in that just don't work. Like, everyone wanted Elder Scrolls to go multiplayer, and no one plays Elder Scrolls Online. There's a small, good community, and that's it.
And I think it could work if they did it differently.
Exactly. Whereas in Pokemon Go, did it the right way.
Exactly.
Not to mention, there's a really good article that you should go read by I don't want to say it's Callie Plaguey, but it's somebody from IGN. Don't quote me on that. But she was talking about how this is the spiritual sequel to Pokemon Snap that we've always wanted.
Yes.
And I just think it's and that's a really good way to put it, but it's also just the Pokemon game we've always wanted.
Yeah.
And if they add trading, if they even made this half what the actual Pokemon games are, but I'm walking around with you guys throwing Pokeballs, oh my goodness. I might as well quit my job now. Because and start buying new pants because my calves are going to be ripped just from all the walking. So how do you that leads me to the next one. How do you guys feel about the Pokestops, the walking around to get new Pokemon to pop up in nearby? How do you feel about the exercise aspect of it, really?
I like the idea of it. Me personally, I like walking, but I have a hard time doing it.
Well, you have a fucked up calf, right?
Exactly.
So
calf and heel.
calf and heel. Just gives you one more, and then you come in today and your actual foot is bandaged.
Yeah, I'll mostly blame Pokemon, but sometimes I have my days where
What happened to your foot?
nothing. It's just
It just causes. I gotcha. Just
it
don't
happens.
die. That's all I worry about.
But it could partially be Pokemon.
And so, like, the Pokestops partly are one of the most buggy things that I've noticed, at least.
Yeah.
We'll get to a Pokestop and we'll spin it and it'll say try again later. So you got to walk by.
Or catching the Pokemon, sometimes it won't register that you tapped on it, or it's just loading.
Or it'll freeze once it's in. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Recommendation, if it freezes after you caught the Pokemon and it's just sitting there, wait for the little Pokeball in the upper left-hand corner to stop blinking and then restart your app. Sometimes your Pokemon will appear in your inventory.
Or if your phone's like mine and your little loading Pokeball thing doesn't ever
Go
stop,
away.
then it's not going to happen. Just close it out.
You're not going to get that Pokemon.
There's a 30% chance you got that Pokemon
What's
already.
the phone that you have, though? Specific, because this does have specific problems.
Yeah, it's the HTC Desire 626 or 616.
Yeah, 616, I think. It's one of those two.
I think it's 626 because
616 is Marvel.
Marvel,
That's what I was thinking too. But I had the same phone, and that one specifically, the AR doesn't work properly.
No.
At all. It just doesn't work.
No.
And then
it doesn't generate the gyroscope.
Gyroscope, exactly. Properly. It's in there, but it just doesn't work. And then specifically throwing Pokeballs is hard, and the loading. Whenever it freezes, you're just done. Restart the app because it's not going to happen.
And I have a Note 4, but it's not for the program that or the service that I have. So
Right. Speaking of the Pokestops, so we stopped there, and when you level up, both those two things give you new items. What do you guys think about the item play with it? Other than Pokeballs, Great Balls, Ultra Balls, what do you think of the other items? So the raspberries, the incense, the lures.
I like all of those. I think the battle items. I think because the battle items are so kind of filling for your inventory, it's like if you want to be like a serious battler, you have to have like 50, 60 of each.
Right.
Before you go out fighting. And then it's like, okay, well, I just used everything. And it's like you have to spend a ton of time just recouping that.
Well,
and so you either get to go capture everything or worry about potions and
I
stuff.
gotcha.
I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, right now my bag is full.
Right, same here.
So a lot of people out there go to Pokestops all the time, so they're gonna have full bags all the time too. So when they go to their gyms and battle a lot, and
They're set.
Yeah.
they have enough coins to buy the backpack upgrade.
Right,
And I think you
right.
can stack those, and it upgrades more and more every
probably.
time.
Yep,
So-
totally can. And that's the thing that I was going to say is utilize your potions, not your super potions, because those are going to be there, but they're valuable. And the thing is it does the same thing. But you're going to have a lot more normal potions than you are super potions, and it just takes an extra second. Like the game is a little slow when you're trying to click on your Pokemon and heal everybody up. But take that extra second, use those normal potions over your super potions, because while it does go faster when you use your super potions, you don't want to use it for that last little bit when you can use a potion.
No, not for the last little bit. I use a combination of both.
I use it when I want to drop the Pokemon I just beat the gym with.
Yeah.
When I want to put it in the gym. So, like, as an example, yesterday we beat the gym at the library with my Pidgeot. I wanted to leave my Pidgeot there, but it was already low in health because I used it to beat the gym.
Right.
So I used 2 super potions real quick, healed, put it in there before somebody else could walk by and fill the gym.
I use them all the time just because I happen to get super potions more than
You do.
potions.
You do have a wide swath of them. The other thing that you get from Pokestops and leveling up is eggs and incubators.
Yes.
I love this mechanic.
We still don't know if we actually can get incubators from Pokestops.
We don't. Yes, I don't know if you can.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. We talked about it, but even if you can't, there's still a solid item that includes on this, and you get them from leveling up. You can from leveling up get extra incubators, so like the 3-use ones, and those are also available to buy. I don't believe you can buy an infinite one. I think you can just get that one infinite one. But those are solid gameplay that keeps you walking even when there's no Pokemon nearby.
Right.
You have an egg, you can walk, you can hatch them. To hatch those 10-kilometer eggs, don't just write them off or save them. Those have some solidly rare Pokemon. We mentioned Hitmonlee and Omnite both came out at 10 kilometers.
Hitmonchan, Onyx.
Yep.
And if you're going to use one of your lucky eggs, just put the 2-kilometer ones in there and just keep hatching if you're going to walk around.
Exactly.
You might be able to hatch 2 eggs of each.
Exactly.
Incubator.
Or if you're really close to hatching an egg and you feel like using one of your lucky eggs, that's when you use it. Don't wait or anything like that. Use the lucky egg at the end of it so you get that because you get
and then start evolving your Pokemon.
Exactly. Because the lucky eggs cannot be oversold. Those are solid for leveling up, and then as you level up, you encounter rare Pokemon.
And if it's a Pokemon you haven't seen yet, it's twice as much.
It's twice as much
XP.
exactly. And every time you level up, it's 500 XP.
Yes.
And you double it for lucky eggs. So
Yep.
they're one of probably the most powerful ones. So I do want to talk about the dangers of Pokemon Go. So watch where you're going. If you're crossing the street, don't walk in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
If you're out,
Trespass.
Don't trespass. Don't trespass. Seriously, I've heard some really fun camaraderie stories of people knocking on doors hey, there's a Pokemon in your backyard. Sweet little kids doing this. They're that's good, but be careful, especially if you're out at night.
Oh, just come into my house.
Only
Exactly.
do that to people that you know that live in your neighborhood.
Exactly. This doesn't go for kids either. There are creepy people to adults as well.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in some dude's backyard if he has a bear trap back there.
Yeah.
Like we said, watch
I've
out for
been there.
cars. Exactly. Watch out for crooks. It was one instance, but it still could happen. People are using lures to lure people to rob them. That dude was already put in jail. It was a one-time thing, and this isn't everybody happening, but it's still a viable thing. Know the streets. Exploration is a good thing, but moderation.
Yeah.
Know where you're going. Have an escape route.
Another thing about having multiple people with you.
Exactly. It's a game about people and meeting people. Meeting people is still fun. We've come across a lot of people that we wouldn't normally talk to, even at night.
Yeah.
That was really fun, but you still have to be careful.
Yeah, be careful, but there is one thing that I think is going to be good about this too is
It's more people on the street.
More people on the street. So something like this, if it's going to happen, more people are going to see it.
Yeah. Exactly.
More people are going to react to that situation, call the cops, or get involved themselves.
And that's why, when you first hear, you heard a big outcry just because there were so many people that the cops had to watch at night. But then you learn that they're all Pokemon kids.
Yeah.
And then it stopped. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say crime rate's gone down because I think it's too early to tell, and also that's a little crazy to talk about. But like Jordan said, there's more people out at night. It is safer.
Now that 1 in 100 people will react to this positively.
Exactly.
Okay, there used to be 10 people on the street.
Exactly.
Now there's 1,000 people on the street.
There's 400 people in on Central Park going for that Vaporeon.
Yeah.
There are more people to see these things. So it is fun. Travel in groups is all we're saying.
Yes.
I did want to mention the onlookers. You had talked to a cop about Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
got
talked to
stopped by
an
an ambulance driver. Just stopped you on the side of the road, and these people just want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
We've been waved, and normally when people see you doing something strange, especially in a small town like ours, they're quick to, oh, darn kids, or they flip you off, or any of those things. Well, I've had nothing but positivity for this game.
No, the cop that I talked to was really cool about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. We ran into an old couple and their family were just out on the porch. And they're like, "You guys playing them Pokemons? Go catch them!" And it was so cool.
Anything down the road?
Exactly. People are so positive about it because again, it's getting kids outside. People are outside. We got stopped by our local newspaper and they wanted to talk to us about it. I got quoted, and one of the big things that they actually picked up on for the story is that we are exercising again.
Yeah.
There was a 13 or 14-year-old kid who was interviewed, and he was like, "Yeah, normally I'm just inside playing video games. I've rode my bike all day."
Yeah.
I'm not weight anymore.
Look at you can see the tans in comparison to what we normally are. It is ridiculous. Exactly. So we talked about the rivalry a little bit. One thing that everyone saw the first day was Team Red. Everyone's Team Red.
And that's what we assumed.
And it is assumed because red wins everything. Because
most people go red.
Exactly, and it's a more aggressive color. People go red, and that's just a thing in most video games and in most team sports anyways. But the numbers are now in after about a week. People are Team Blue. What the fuck?
At least right now, still.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a solid amount, and the numbers are only growing for each one.
Yeah.
And eventually, I think it'll shift. I think in the long run, yellow will probably catch up because yellow is the least. What's that team? Instinct.
Yeah.
And
people
Team
will find out,
Blue's
be like, oh, I should join Team Yellow.
and there is stuff in the code they found recently about a new team, not the Team Unity that everyone wants with the Lugia as the logo, which is cool.
Team Rocket.
But there is introduction of a fourth team coming eventually. Maybe they
I'd
might
join
get rid
Team
of it.
Rocket.
I joined Team.
I'd
Rocket
abandon you guys to join Team Rocket
are they
so
gonna,
fast.
let you be the team you are and potentially let you change?
They've talked about down the line either paid, kind of like how you could pay to pay your name, like change your name, but pay to change your and limit to like once per month probably.
That would make sense.
I
Like,
think
if
so.
I wanted to change, I'd be willing to put the money forward.
Exactly, and that stops everybody from going, "Oh, Team Red's winning, so I better switch to Team Red." So I'm all for that as long as it's in moderation. So we still have the fun and the rivalry. But we've talked about like we really wanted blue because the people you work with are blue, so you could still play when you're at work and go gyms at lunch. So we were all fine with that. But then we get to our hometown now, everyone's blue, and there's a small amount of red and a small amount of yellow. Like it would have been cool if we were one of those teams, so we could battle more gyms.
I've ran into more red here than blue.
It's just the time of day that you're playing, though, because right now all the gyms in town except for one are blue.
During the daytime, everything's blue, and then people come home.
then they go at night, and then me and you take them back.
It's like 8 to 10, the red team comes through, and then we go out at like 1 in the morning.
Although we do need to go to the gym in the graveyard because it's like always yellow, and I'm worried the prestige is going to be like 20 by the time we get there. So we should go
Can't
take
go there
that
at night now, though.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a graveyard, yeah. But we should. I mean, we can go there while
You don't
sun's
want
still
to
up.
go there at night, anyways.
Yeah, because the zombies in Ocarina of Time. What are those called?
The Redeads.
The Redeads or the skeletons.
Skeletor.
Yeah.
We talked about gaming the system a little bit, but people are driving around. If you drive slow enough, they have gone down from 13 to 10 miles per hour. So if you're going faster than 10, it'll mess up sometimes and give you some kilometers, but most of the time, no. So even if you're riding a good bike, if you're going faster than 10 kilometers per hour, it's not going to work. So you can't even do it on a bus. And people have like tried to petition and stuff. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But you can. There are certain ways to game. You can go like, super slow.
Theoretically, we could set up like on a rotational sprinkler. You just get a big like PVC pipe
so it changes
attached.
the GPS location as it goes.
So it just swings in a circle.
One dude put it on his record player in
Yeah.
between two GPS locations, and that worked really, really well. It just showed the guy going around. And he put it on a ceiling fan as well, which will fuck up your ceiling fan. Don't do that. My dad almost killed me when I was a kid because I used to tie my action figures to the ceiling fan.
Put all four phones in the ceiling fan.
Yeah, so it doesn't pull it down. So it's completely, it's properly weighted. Keep leveling up. We did warn you about battery life and weak ass phones. So my phone was really shitty last week. I couldn't play it on there. I had to borrow my wife's phone.
You had to play Pokemon Go, so you had to get a new phone.
I did. I took out a new phone. But the battery life thing is a real concern. Your battery will get eaten. We both have really high tech phones. You have a high tech phone, and they still go down really easily.
Yeah.
Even if you have solid batteries. So because you have GPS location on, even with brightness off, it's still pinging every 30 seconds. Plus, it's running the game.
Plus, it's eating all of your RAM.
Exactly. It's 2 gigs.
Yeah.
Is what you need to play properly. So. Just watch out for that. But overall, we have a lot of fun playing Pokemon Go. I don't see it going away anytime soon. I think the numbers will drop down as people get tired of it.
I think it depends on how well Niantic can stay on top of like
updates.
Keeping people feeling like the game is fresh.
Yes, exactly. So number one, fixing bugs.
Servers and bugs.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, allowing us to log in, like you were saying with the servers, fixing those bugs that are already plaguing people, watching out for the new ones. Like right now, Nearby is not working currently as we talk about this. The tracks aren't going down. And then content updates. Honestly, I think next week is going to be the big. We said 3 months is when it would die out. I think next week is the big defining moment to see
people get tired of
it. Yeah, to see if people get tired of it right now. I think it'll die out completely over 3 months. Like the hardcore people will keep playing it, and then people will get renewed interest when they put out the new Pokemon,
which is supposed to be around December.
Yeah, is what they're saying. Is they think that they're going to introduce the Sun and Moon Pokemon to Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
which would be interesting. I'd be all for that.
Jump straight to Sun and Moon rather than go
because it'll be new to everybody.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I see them doing that if it's all a possibility. But they do.
I want my Cyndaquil.
I know. Next week will be the big defining moment is if they put out an update that changes content at all. What do you think?
I mean, I am all for the new Pokemon. I just wonder if they're gonna shift it into like seasons in a way to where like it's gonna be all just those Pokemon, or if they're gonna include the previous Pokemon you had.
I don't think either way they'll put all of the Pokemon. I don't see them introducing another 100. I see them introducing another 20
to 50.
Exactly. Yeah, like a smaller number because they still want you to buy the normal Sun and Moon game. You know.
Yeah.
But I could see them doing some cross promotion stuff, like if you have Sun and Moon,
comes with a code for Pokemon Go.
Exactly, different things like that.
Oh, that would be hype.
They've already talked about people finding the code McDonald's sponsorships coming up, which is obvious. Every single McDonald's is a Pokestop/gym already. Yeah. So people already saw that coming. Walmart's already trying to get people to come. Hey, tell us what Pokemon you found. Plus, we're putting this Pokemon plush on sale.
There are people who are like advertising as like we are a Pokestop.
Our library's doing that.
Yeah, we also have free Wi-Fi. We have outlets. We also have pizza.
Exactly.
If you want to buy a pizza because you're hungry.
We've talked about putting out a Cave Trolls, like not necessarily Pokestop, but like a get together. Yeah. Everyone from this team come here, or even
any team.
Any team is what I was thinking. Like
go somewhere
Pokemon
that has a
Go.
bunch of Pokestops around it and just drop some lures.
I thought about us like getting together like a couple of like gallons of like Kool-Aid or something. Yeah. Kool-Aid's a bag sample. People get worried about Kool-Aid. A couple gallons of Gatorade.
I made this in my toilet.
So some toilet wine, and us going to the park and saying this is a meetup. You know, 16 or older, or bring parents. And just everyone come, because the more people get together, the rarer the Pokemon. Meet the other people from your team in your town. I think that would be fun. Go to those. There already are some on Facebook. Yeah. You know, lots of people are doing that. Go to those meetups. You're gonna, even if you don't like people, there are gonna be rare Pokemon.
Meetup.
That's what we're saying. Yeah, we'll do a Cave Trolls meetup. You know, the problem is a lot of our fans aren't where we are.
I know,
so, but we're talking about playing those things.
Like a Cave Trolls meetup in like Auburn Hills,
right? And that's what I was thinking. Is we go to like
Cave
a mall
Trolls road trip to John's house.
Yeah,
Okemos.
Yeah,
but
Jesus Christ, Michigan State motherfucker.
One of the things I was gonna say, like with churches too, like it's funny. Some of the churches are very against Pokemon Go.
I wrote about that in my article.
It's
about
very
Pokemon
funny
Go.
because they're like, oh, there's so many Pokemon showing up in our church, and all these kids keep coming. Whereas other churches are like, yeah, welcome Pokemon Go players.
Yeah, bring the kids to church. I got flipped off at a church, okay? And you know what church I'm talking about? Not your church, the one on
with
the road.
The cutouts?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but no,
it was some Claire Ferry shit right there.
That's funny, but what I was gonna say is like, a lot of people are very against churches, and I'm against some churches just because like some people don't do it the right way.
It's about the camaraderie of it
exactly.
again. You know?
I think that church can bring very good morals to someone's life.
Before we get too religious, Jordan,
let's
tone it down a notch.
I was just gonna say.
But I see what you're saying. Like, we can get people together, and like there are worse places for a kid to go to catch Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
You should never be turning people away at a church. Number one, number two, because they're playing Pokemon.
Exactly.
The Westboro Baptist Church and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's,
of all the very dangerous people.
Exactly. I see where you're going with. Like, it's like, come on, like people are going to church. Let them go to church, even if they're there for the Pokemon. Maybe
of all the very dangerous people that are going to show up anywhere. I'm guessing the Pokemon players.
Yeah, the thing I was just gonna say for the end of that was just that it's a very smart move to allow just to welcome people who play Pokemon.
And that's exactly for all businesses too.
Exactly.
You know,
contact Niantic, get like a rare Pokemon drop, like random spawn location Sundays at like 9 a.m.
We're gonna start seeing that though.
In your sanctuary.
You best believe if you have an active receipt and you tap your phone for Samsung Pay at McDonald's, you're gonna a Squirtle's gonna appear behind you.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's gonna happen soon. So just keep a lookout. Check out all their stuff. I'm at Resident Evil on Twitter. John's at
Mr. Opra.
Were you normally sit over there?
No,
never sit over there. I'm usually right over here though.
Yeah,
throw me off a little bit. And Jordan's at.
I'm Terry. I'm Jordan. I'm at Extraordinary.
All right, and you can find my new blog at residenceevil.kinja.com. Check me out on a couple other websites: Triton XP, NG4.com. Read our stuff. We talk about Pokemon Go on a lot of different things. Check out our podcast, Cave Trolls Podcast. Mm-hmm. We have several topics on Pokemon Go. If you liked this,
drop us some comments.
Exact comments, like, subscribe, email us at cavetrollscast@gmail.com.
Slide into Jordan's DMs on Tinder.
Can you do that?
No.
You have to swipe.
I don't know.
You have to swipe.
I've never had a Tinder.
I'm thinking of, is it Grindr, Twinder?
You think of Instagram.
They're all dumb. They're all awesome. Hook my man up.
Actually, I think I'm invisible on Tinder right now because I haven't been active on it.
Too many bots.
I've been hunting on Pokemon Go, not Tinder.
It has more downloads than Tinder and Twitter. So
yeah, it just beat Twitter a few days
Probably
ago.
like a day or two ago, yeah.
So check us out. We're the Cave Trolls, and we're out.
And we're out.